You might think that getting into the IT field is impossible without a computer science degree, but Tech Coach Ralph is here to prove you wrong. Get ready for some jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into this lucrative industry. Listen up, tech enthusiasts! Are you ready to break through into the IT field, but feel like you need a computer science degree to make it happen? Think again! Tech Coach Ralph has some exclusive, mind-blowing secrets to share with you. Get ready to be blown away by his jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into the tech industry without a computer science degree. So get your notepad ready, because Tech Coach Ralph is going to change your life forever. Buckle up, because you're about to embark on a journey to success in the IT field.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Today is Wednesday, December 27th, 2023. It is currently 7:23 a.m. on the East Coast. So, just wanted to welcome everybody in, especially special shout out to Operation Tech Takeover. You show so much support, and I really really appreciate it. And we'll just start off with the comment. Well, before we do that, right? If you do not know who I am your host of this Coffee and Kata morning show. I am Tech Coach Ralph, where we are engineered to win. I just want to acknowledge Operation Tech Takeover's message already. It says peace and blessing. I really enjoyed the show last night. Yep, it was a good time. It's that is our typical Tuesday night Q&A show where we go a variety of topics. And we just try to answer questions. It was great to have Andrew up on the show as well, giving his perspective and things like that. So it was good. Really enjoyed it. Thank you for being there. And if you haven't seen that show, anybody else, I would say go back and check it out. It was from last night, our Q&A session. Good stuff. Really, really good stuff. All right. We are not going to waste any time. We're going to jump right into our news stories. I am. How many do I have? One, two, three, four, five, six. I have six. I'm gonna throw. Keep it at. Let me see. Put the timer up. Where is my timer? Okay. Timer not showing up. All right. Let me find it. Weird. Okay. So there goes the timer. Oh, that's no wonder it's not online. All right. All right. We're good. Okay. So we are going to spend. Let's go with. We'll put our 5 minutes on the clock. And let's jump into our news articles for today. All right, first things first. Are EV startups running out of cash? This is by Emma W. Thor, editor at LinkedIn News. It says, it's a tough time to be making electric vehicles if your name isn't Tesla. According to a Wall Street Journal analysis, at least 18 EV and battery startups that went public between 2020 and 2022 are on track to run out of money by the end of next year. At least three, Lordstown Motors, Proterra, and Electric Last Mile Solutions, have filed for bankruptcy. The main obstacle, manufacturing problems and rising costs. Demand for EVs also isn't as huge as many companies originally expected, though it continues to grow in a more moderated way. Even Tesla, which went through its own serious growing pains, has been slashing prices to woo more customers. So that it's a tricky spot because people thought that EVs were going to be adopted super quickly, but it's not as maybe it's not as fast as they anticipated, but we shall see how that goes. All right, let's jump into our next one. Why? Okay, there we go. Clock. All right. So this one says some jobs are secretly remote. Let's see what they mean by secretly remote. All right. So, by Jessica Mincer, editor at LinkedIn News, more companies are formally summoning employees back to the office, but not everyone is heeding the call. In 2024, experts say that we will likely see the rise of backdoor remote jobs. What is that? Virtual positions that companies approve ad hoc for the right candidate or high performing staffer. Of course, while these loopholes may satisfy those select employees, companies will have to contend with accusation of unfairness once word gets out. So that's going to be pretty interesting. I don't, I don't disagree with this though because a lot of times it is not every not everybody is qualified or meant to work remotely. It just like I said here, for the right candidate or high performing staffers. I know people are going to cry about unfairness and stuff like that, but you know, it's about instilling a sense of professionalism as well. So I know we'll see. We shall see how that's going to work out because there are some companies that they have some positions that they are open to remote, depending on the level of experience, and there's some they say we require you to be at least available to be hybrid. So we shall see. Great. Next up on the list on the docket, it says fans splurge on destination shows. A post pandemic consumer mindset that values spending voraciously on premium, unique experiences has begun to upend the live music business. Fans are now more willing than ever to empty their wallets and travel vast distances to see their favorite acts. I never believe in emptying your wallet, but it is what it is. Last summer, Taylor Swift, Beyonce, and Pearl Jam shows became destination trips for fans who happily built their vacation plans around concerts. U2's show at Las Vegas Sphere put an exclamation point on this trend. Deep pocketed fans are shelling out for tickets, hotel packages, and on site experiences curated by the band. Um, I don't know how deep those pockets really are because then they're going to be, you know, posting on LinkedIn about how the job market sucks. So, it is what it is. All right. So, next up, will teachers get a raise in 2024? So that is the question. Are teachers going to be getting a raise? So it says underpaid, overworked, and often unable to keep pace with inflation. Most of the United States 3.5 million K through 12 public school teachers, that's been a harsh reality for decades. But in 2023, states such as Arkansas, Florida, Tennessee, and Utah approved notable increases in educators' pay. These actions affected starting salaries, annual increases the next few years, or both. Optimists see signs that this past year's gain can extend to 2024. Texas Republican Governor Greg Abbott has said he would like to boost public school teachers' pay as long as legislators also approve a school voucher program. And that's where it gets tricky because a lot of people they do not like the school of choice and the school vouchers and stuff like that. But it's is it a fair compromise? It might be. All right. Last article of this morning. Your next CFO could be a gig worker. So this is by Misa Han. It says the gig economy has transformed the taxi and food delivery sectors and disrupted the way professionals work. Could C-suite executives be next? Due to a decline in venture capital funds in recent years, startups have to work with less cash and longer runways. Experienced fractional CFO Michelle Calvo says, or yeah, I don't know. Kevio says this could mean the gig economy model for C suites could take off in 2024, allowing startups to access senior resources without over indexing too early. Executive recruiter Dexter Cousins warns the model can come with real challenges such as rapid burnout for the executives. So that is going to be an interesting model to see. C-suite level gig workers. So I don't know. That's interesting to see how that would work out. Definitely interested in here. Let's read this real quick, right? Because this is from the person who that CFO. It says, I'm noticing more and more conversations in my feed at the moment about fractional C-suite roles, and it's making me feel like a dinosaur. Having worked in the fractional CFO space for over 10 years now, the space has evolved so much that over that time, it's been really interesting to see how it's developed. I was speaking to one of the founders of a fractional C-suite matching platforms that recently launched, and he congratulated us fractional CFOs for trailblazing the offering. I will take that hat tips. Let's see what is a fractional CEO CFO. Uh A fractional CFO is a part time chief financial officer typically hired by startups on a contractual basis to share their expertise in finance, strategic planning, and other CFO related activities. So that's interesting. That is very, very interesting. Okay, cool. That is cool to see. Um, it's a very long post. We're not going to read this whole thing, but that's interesting. So, um, your next CFO could be a gig worker. So that's going to be interesting to see how that works out. All right, cool. Let's go back over here and uh, let's go with. All right, cool. So, top of the morning to you too, J Dubs. Great to see you here. Yep. Thank you for tuning in. All right, we are going to move on to the kata portion, to the coding challenges. So we are going to go back to our rock paper scissors challenge. We have to finish up the. So let's pull it up on the screen. I'm sure you what we have to finish up. Let's go to. So I'm gonna put what time is it? I'm gonna put Let's go with 20 minutes on the clock should be good. That should suffice. Mm, all right. So let's go over to here. So the part that we're on now is so this is the rock paper scissors challenge for those who are unfamiliar. We've been working through it. We are at our last step. Pretty much, my good friend Don created this challenge where it's an API testing challenge where you can send a choice of a weapon of either rock, paper, or scissors to this endpoint API slash play, and then you are going to get a response back from the API with the weapon that you chose. It's going to give you back the computer's weapon of choice, right? And then it's going to say who the winner is, right? So we did all that. I added so part of our challenge in the morning is we say, hey, you know what? One of the testing requirements was to make sure that the API was up and running. So we added a health check to it, right? We should probably, oh, no, it should be good. So when you hit the health endpoint, it gives you a status of okay. And the next part of the challenge is that so we did that part. We did the game logic where it says if there's a correct winner. So you know you play rock, the computer says scissors, you should win, and so forth, right? Now we are up to the point for the randomness test, right? So it says run the play endpoint multiple times. So an example 1,000 times, and record the computer's choice each time. Calculate the percentage for each weapon's choice from the computer. So how many times it chooses rock, how many times it chooses paper, how many times it chooses scissors. Test if the distribution of each weapon choice is approximately equal. So you can use a tolerance level for instance. For instance, each choice distribution is within 30 to 40%, then it could be considered random, right? So basically, we need to let's say we can start off at 100, then we can modify the number, right? But if we run it 100 times, it'd be between 30 and 40% for rock, 30 to 40% for paper, and then it would be 30 to 40% for scissors as well. Um, Stephanie had did this challenge, so we have some insight on a way to do it. But we're going to jump into it and do that part ourselves. So let's get to it. All right. We are going to go to our code screen here. Let me see if I can make it a little bigger. Oh, not meant to do that. Trying to get a shortcut for this, but it is what it is. All right, cool. We're good to go. Let's go to. We are going. All right, so let's go all the way to the bottom, and we are going to do. So we're going to say a new function test randomness of computer. I like to name my methods very descriptive. And I want to pass. No, it's good. And then we're going to say here, and we're going to say, so we want to, so I'm going to list out what I'm going to do here. I'm going to run my test. So loop the test 100 times. All right. And then we can always modify that. And then we want to say computer should distribute between rock, paper, scissors, weapon 30 to 40% each, right? So first things first, let's do our loop. So for so all right, so wait, no, I don't think it's gonna be good. I need a good what's the standard Python loop? Is that right? So let's say me. All right, there we go. So we're gonna use a range. So we're gonna say for number in range of 100, right? Let's do a basic loop real quick, right? We're gonna say just say print number. So that's gonna loop 100 times, and it's going to print like 0 all the way to 100. So let's see if that works first. Mm, let's go. Let's see. All these are failing because the application isn't started up, but I only want to see this one right here. And there we go. So it counted from 0 to 100, which is cool. All right. So, and then once we start up the application, all these should pass. So we don't have to worry about that right now. So we have our loop, and inside our loop, we are going to say, so we can take, let's steal from here a bit. I'm going to take this. So this is our request body. And we're going to say we're going to pass, we're just going to pass scissors in, right? Because it doesn't really matter at this point which is the winner. We just want to see what is going to be the customers or the computer's weapon of choice. So um, this can stay on the out. So this expected weapon right here can stay on the outside of the loop. And this right here can stay on the outside of the loop. Okay. We can get rid of this print right here. And now the scissors weapon response that can go inside of the loop, and that's going to say make a request and post it to the play endpoint with the JSON body of rock paper scissors request body, which is this right here. And we want to say so scissor weapon. So we already tested the status code, so we don't need the status code in here, but we do want the response body. What we can do right now is just I'm going to say print scissors response body. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to comment this out just for a second because I just want to get it one time, right? So we're going to need to start up the application. So let's do that. Mm, mm, How do we start up the application? So let's start up the app is going to be UVcorn main app reload. All right, so our rock paper scissors app is started on port 8000. And if we run this file here, all right, let's see what URL are we trying. Oh, okay, we're trying to get to 8080. So let's put this to 8000. Run it again. Everything should pass, except for the application is up for some reason. But we're not going to worry about that right now. Maybe it's a different format. I don't know. Let's not worry about that one right now. Let's focus on the one that we're working on. So for randomness test. So all right. So we have your weapon, scissors, computer weapon, rock. Um, Winner, computer wins. All right, cool. So what we're gonna do at where's my timer? Here we go. What we're gonna do at this point is we're gonna say so before we even go back to the loop, right? We're gonna say do it here if scissor weapon response body. I don't even like this name, to be honest with you. I'm gonna change it real quick. So um that's fine. Let's leave it for now. and we can always refactor it later, make it work and then make it better. So that's the model. All right. So we're gonna say um, if scissor weapon response body, and then we put here to find out the computer weapon equals rock. And we're gonna say, let's do computer rock count equals 0. Let's do computer scissor count equals 0. And lastly, computer paper count equals 0. Okay. So now if computer if the computer weapon choice is rock, we're gonna say computer rock count plus 1. And else if elif scissor weapon response body computer weapon equals scissor computer scissor count plus 1. And if the scissor weapon response body computer weapon equals paper computer paper count plus 1. All right. So now what I'm going to do is say print out all these f string so we have let's see. Let's just run it once to see if it's going to um, have the right increment to make sure we did it right. So all of these are 0. So this equals, so let me see. So plus equal, that's what we need. So my mistake, plus equal. Let's see if that works this time. It's a lot of it is like trial and error because you don't always memorize going from language to language and stuff like that. But a quick search, you get the answer you're looking for. So, all right. So this one says paper. There you go, paper. And this one is computer paper 1. So perfect. So now we are going to. So now let's do our loop, right? And we're gonna say take this right here and put it in here. And now when we run it 100 times, we should get a good amount, a good distribution here, right? So let's run it real quick. And where is our randomness test? So all right, we don't need all of that, but why did this increment only took 1 or number? Oh, okay, this is why, because we have this 0 in here, so our mistake. That is definitely our mistake right there. So what's happening is by this being inside the loop, it's always gonna come back to reset it at 0. So even if like these are running, but it's gonna always come back to 0. So what we need to do is take this, move it outside of our loop, declare our counts, our initial counts at first. And now once they go into the loop, it's not gonna go back and reset everything to 0. So let's do that. So if we go to our randomness check, on the next one, we're gonna get rid of this, right? Um, so 31, 28, 41. Somewhat random. So let's clear out this print right here. Have a better visualization. So let's look at our randomness check again. 28, 39, 33. Um, it's not necessarily 30%, but so we'll up the number, right? But let's do or no. Let's see. So what we can do now is let's try to add a little bit of validation to this before our time's about to run up, but we can add the validation part next time if time runs out. So if we were to do cert that see with this, let me see. This is I mean out of 100, this is saying 28% is rock, 39% is scissors, 33% is paper. So it's like it's the rock is not within the margin that we're looking for it to be completely random, but it's not too bad. So what we could do is let's do we can do it like this. Let's go with instead of
Lunch break.
range.
Lunch break.
So let's do this real quick, right? What I want to do, I'm gonna say instead of hard coding 100 here, let's say with here we can set that at 100 or at 1,000 or whatever. And here we're gonna say here, and then if we come down here, I want to say percentage of results equals. Let's do a function actually. So a quick function. So I'm gonna remove this assert. Let's say define, and we're going to say calculate percentage of result. And we're going to say pass in the weapon count and the weapon count and the total time test ran. And we're going to say return weapon count divided by total time test run. Did that give me the percentage? Let me see. Where's my faithful calculator? So if out of if it did 328 out of 1,000 times, is that the right math? Yeah, that should be good. Very cool. And then we take that and we multiply that by 100, right? That should give us our percentage, right? So if we say here, assert that um, calculate percentage, we say computer raw count and then the total number of time to run tests, right? It should be greater than 30. Greater than 30. And should be less than 40. Something like that, right? Let's say we go with something like that. All right, cool. There you go. So we simplified it. So 30. Let's try that, right? So, and then we do the same thing for, we'll clean it up after, but let's say we do computer scissor count and computer paper count, right? And then we can add some validation to it afterwards. But if we were to run this again, so right now it's running it 1,000 times. That was pretty quick. Randomness of computer. So we have rock 335, scissors 305, paper, and let's do this real quick, right? Let's say we print percentage of string. So percentage equals that. String and return the percentage. So now if we were to go run it again, so 33.6%, 32.9%, 33.5%, which is pretty spot on, to be honest with you. But if we were to run it 100 times, would we get that same? Because remember, we're getting like 28% for the first time. So let's say if we were to change this to 500 and give it a run. It's still good. Look at that. Pretty awesome. Um, so the last thing we would do is say, um, if it was to fail, we would say the expected between 30 to 40% actual let's do this get a little cleaner rock percentage equals make it cleaner, right? And actual rock percentage. There we go. And if we, it's all about making it cleaner, right? Easier to read. So we say scissor. It might look like we're doing a bit of overkill, but trust me, like not having to write the same code over and over and over again is going to be so, so helpful, right? So here we say scissor percentage, and we do comma expected between 30 to 40%, and actual percentage. And lastly, because if we get this part done, we can wrap this up. So paper percentage. Nice and clean. Just like we like it. So fresh and so clean. All right. So we say expected between 30 and 40. Actual. And paper. Cool. So there's that. Get it up a little bit. There's that. All right. So we have all of this. And if we were to give it another run, everything should. So that's what I mean by make it work and then make it better. So now we have our assertions here. And let's give it one more run. There we have it. Our percentage of here we go. So we are in good standing. We can remove this now that we have. Sounds good. Perfect. So let's give it one. I want to do it with 100, right? Because I'm I don't know. I'm curious what numbers would go with 100. See, now with the 100, that one of them became 28, right? But out of 1,000, it was all good. So I don't know. I'm not 100% sure about that, but it's all good. It is all good. Something to discuss, because with 1,000, it works perfectly fine. With 100, it becomes a little bit flaky. Look at like, these are great percentages right here. As you see, this is one is on the brink. Um, so it is what it is. So, anyways, let's get back over here, and that is our Coffee and Kata morning show. At noon today, we have I have software explorations, concept and overviews coming out about AWS Amplify. We are going to continue working through AWS Amplify to deploy our Tech Barbarian software. Yeah, so and we're gonna go back live tomorrow night for some more software explorations, but that is the plan. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you, J Dubs and Operation Tech Takeover for stopping by. Always appreciate you guys greatly. And we will talk to you guys later. This has been another early morning coffee and kata news and coding challenge to help us get ready for the day. Well, on that note, I am going to take off. Thank you for tuning in and have a wonderful, wonderful day.
You might think that getting into the IT field is impossible without a computer science degree, but Tech Coach Ralph is here to prove you wrong. Get ready for some jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into this lucrative industry. Listen up, tech enthusiasts! Are you ready to break through into the IT field, but feel like you need a computer science degree to make it happen? Think again! Tech Coach Ralph has some exclusive, mind-blowing secrets to share with you. Get ready to be blown away by his jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into the tech industry without a computer science degree. So get your notepad ready, because Tech Coach Ralph is going to change your life forever. Buckle up, because you're about to embark on a journey to success in the IT field.